If you are struggling to attract relationships in which you are truly loved, cared for, and prioritized, it is because you are not understanding the importance of being more obsessed with yourself. Hi, my name is Keisha Rice. I am a dating coach and hypnotherapist. I help women learn how to heal from their unhealthy relationship patterns and attract healthy relationships in which they are truly cherished and appreciated. And there is so much content online right now talking about decentering men and how women should stop making men the focus. And whenever I see those videos, the comment section is full of, yay, that's right. We don't care about these men. We're decentering them and all of that. But there's a truth that a lot of these videos ignore. And that truth is that if you stop centering men, if you stop centering all other people in general, that means that you're going to have to start centering yourself because you are all that's left, right? And unfortunately, so many women are not willing to do that because we've been conditioned to believe that we always have to look out for others, put others' needs first, take care of other people, because that's who we are as nurturing feminine women. The truth is, when you love yourself the most, when you prioritize yourself the most, you have plenty of love and overflow that goes into your other relationships. So, in my last video, I was talking about how October through December marks your winter aura. This is the time of the year that instead of waiting until January for, New Year's resolutions and New Year, new me, and all of that, you start in October so that the last 3 months of the year are really spent focusing on yourself, again, doing the shadow work, learning about the unhealthy relationship patterns, so that when January comes, you already have momentum. You are already hitting the ground running instead of waiting until January to start new habits, to start on your new life, to start accomplishing the things that you want. By doing this, one, you're going to accomplish some of those things that you want already in the final quarter of this year. But also, you're going to have habits, mindsets put in place so that, again, you're not starting from scratch January, because this is the reason why most people make New Year's resolutions. And by the end of January, I believe research was the date was somewhere like January 29th. By the end of the month, most people have given up on their resolutions. So by having this 3 month head start, you're able to engage in some trial and error, figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and again, to start getting in the mindset. So back to this idea of centering ourselves. Too often, women believe that being self-aware, being self-centered, it means that they are self-absorbed, means that they are selfish, particularly they are a selfish witch with a capital B, right? And that couldn't be further from the truth. The fact is that allowing yourself to be the center of your world, to embody that main character energy, is what is going to make your other relationships so much healthier, so much more fulfilling, and you will show up better in those relationships. You will show up as a better daughter, wife, sister, friend, aunt, niece, all of those things, because you are taking this time to center yourself. I use the example all the time that I used to work overnights. I worked the night shift, and a very hard boundary that I set was after a certain time in the afternoon, evening, I no longer accepted any phone calls or any text messages. If someone called or texted me, I would answer the next day. And yes, that is very self-centered behavior, because it is making myself the priority, making my sleep priority. However, by doing that, all of my other relationships were better because since I wasn't sleep deprived, I had better conversations. When someone came to me for advice, I was able to listen better because I wasn't half asleep, right? When I spent time in person with friends or family members, I could be more engaged. I could be more active. I could be more present in the moment because, again, I was not sleep deprived. So, boundaries are only going to ever upset the people who were taking advantage of those boundaries. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that setting boundaries is without friction because sometimes when you set a boundary that you haven't had in a long time, the people who love you and who care about you, it might take them a second or two to get used to it. But again, if they truly love you and care for you, they'll be like, okay, cool, you're right. I can get used to this new thing. When people are really upset by it and try to, hold you to what you had before you set those boundaries, try to push back against your boundaries, you should see that as a flaming on fire red flag. Because again, this person was probably taking advantage of your lack of boundaries and your relationship with them, you should act accordingly, whether that's sometimes no longer allowing this person to be in your life. Sometimes it is removing some access from them, taking some separation, all of that. See my last video when I was talking about winter aura, I talk about evaluating and auditing your solar system. So doing that, seeing who deserves more access to you and who deserves less access to you is so important. But again, in this winter aura season, we are going to focus on making sure that we are truly the main characters in our lives. We are going to focus on asking ourselves, what are the boundaries that we need to have in place that we didn't have before? What are the boundaries that we say we have in place, but we have not been enforcing? And we are also going to invest in ourselves more. So I always tell every client of mine, every investment is either an investment of time or of money. For example, my clients work with me because, yes, there are lessons about dating and relationships that they could truly learn on their own. Learning them on their own is going to take a lot more time than being coached and mentored and guided by someone who has learned her own lessons herself from experience and who also has a life coach certification and has studied psychology for years and has read dozens of books and listened to hours and hours, days, weeks worth of podcast and has done all the things, right? So they're paying money to shortcut on the time. The alternative would be to do it for free through things like YouTube University, or my podcast, shameless plug for Confidently Cherished, doing things like that. And you can, but again, it's a trade-off. You're choosing to invest your time or your money. So this is one of the ways in which we are going to center ourselves. You are going to commit to investing in yourself and make the list. Make the list of things that involve money. For example, maybe you want to spend less time on cooking and cleaning around the house. So you invest in meal prep or you invest in hiring a laundry service or things like that. Maybe you want to invest more time wise. So you're going to commit to reading more. You're going to commit to spending more time at the gym. You are going to commit to volunteering and doing something that's good for your soul while you're also helping others. But either way, you are going to decide that you need to invest more in yourself, and you're going to decide which of those commitments are time commitments and which commitments are money commitments. And I want to emphasize that you can do this at any budget. If you don't have a lot of money to spare right now, one of your commitments could be getting on YouTube, listening to some podcasts, and learning more about how to invest money, learning more about how to budget and build up your savings. That could be a commitment to yourself. So again, self-centered is not selfish. Self-centered is not self-absorbed. Self-centered is not, becoming, again, a witch with a capital B. And, I make sure that I try to keep my language on here clean. I have nieces and nephews who follow me on social media. So But it's not being a witch with a capital B. It is making sure that you do the things that are necessary to take care of yourself so that you can show up better for yourself. You can live a better life. And as a product of that, you are also better to other people. And as a dating coach, I can tell you, you are also more attractive to other people. When you show up for yourself and you love yourself, we talk all the time about self-worth and what it is that you bring to the table. When you show up for yourself and take care of yourself, you are showing that you bring a lot to the table. You are worth a lot because you treat yourself as if you're precious. Therefore, other people should treat you as if you are precious. So, this is going to be the period during our winter aura that we stop with all the self-sabotaging behaviors, and those are behaviors like people pleasing, like denying your self care so that you can help other people, giving up on your me time, your reading time, your spa time, your rest time, your nap time, so that you can do things for other people. It means that we're going to get rid of the self deprecating humor and the self criticism. We're going to stop putting ourselves down so that other people can shine or other people can feel better about themselves. And we're going to stop creating stress in our lives because we're going to invest in things that make our lives easier, whether again it's paying for help around your apartment or your house, or whether it's just creating routines that help you get things done quicker and in a more efficient way. So if you like help with this, I have a journal that is all about helping you ditch self-sabotage for good. I'd love for you to check it out. It is full of literally dozens of journal prompts that, now that we are in our winter aura season, this would be a great time to start working through those and to start figuring out, why do I have these self-sabotaging behaviors and what can I do to change them? So check that out. The link is in the description. And, we're going to continue to talk about all of these ways to make your life better so that you can also attract better, and be in a better place to have the love that you want in 2025. Love you so much. I will talk to you soon.